Just coming in there, chipping and charging.
What I thought was so impressive, Paul Annacone, of course, his long-standing coach after Tim Gullickson. What I thought was so impressive at Wimbledon was the way Sampras played off the ground once he'd fought off those pre-break points in the first set, particularly his backhand side. Whereas Agassi, we know, usually very reliable, both forehand and backhand, so solid.
You feel that both putting in some of their big punches early here, seeing how the other one's going to soak them up. Very little sparring going on.
Well, that was one of the backhands as played at Wimbledon. Just a remarkable shot, taking it on the rise. Beautiful follow through.
It's had a terrific renaissance, that shot, in the last month or two.
Yes, because there have been times when Sampras' backhand has been terrible.
Well, this is just incredible what's going on here. So a chance for a break, and that was a quite phenomenal shot. Agassi at his best would have been proud of that. Maybe he's got the reaction he deserved, and yes, Pete just hoisting the muscles up a little bit. Very proud of that. Why not? Even by his standards, that was some game.
Yes, again, very reminiscent of Wimbledon. I remember him playing some of those forehand returns on the centre court.
Last 15.
Agassi so quick onto that second serve. It was Sampras' second serving too, very impressive at Wimbledon. One of the reasons why I did not think Sampras would win the tournament was I thought his serving had gone off, particularly on the second serve.
Agassi's contingent. Gil Ray's the fitness man on the right, and Brad Gilbert on the left. Gilbert a finalist here in '91, and you know who beat him there? Pete Sampras. So here's his man out for revenge. Well, it could all be undone. Just a little carefree, perhaps, on that backhand.
Yes, a couple of backhands missed in the game.
So 2 points for the break back here for Agassi.
Must have been very close outside of the line.
He's ripping one backhand after another at the moment.
And so quick too. That's what impresses me about the pair of them. This match being played at a terrific pace. Both of them moving so well, timing, getting behind the ball.
To look at Sampras now, you'd never believe that by his standards this has been a mediocre season until, what, a month ago. Didn't win a tournament until Queen's. And now you can't beat him. 16 consecutive wins going into this.
Yes, it's quite incredible. I thought he'd lost it, frankly.
It just gets better and better. And that's the damage that he's done already after, what, just 10 minutes. Pete Sampras, the new #1, 3-love up against Agassi.
Untergegangene Kulturen. Time Life präsentiert Ihnen diese fantastische Serie jetzt exklusiv auf Video. Eine einzigartige Sammlung über die verlorenen Welten mystischer Zivilisationen. Erfahren Sie im ersten Film Ägypten auf der Suche nach Unsterblichkeit, mit welch geheimnisvollen Methoden es gelang, den Leichnam des Pharaos Ramses für das Leben im Jenseits zu mumifizieren. Holen Sie sich jetzt Ägypten zum Kennenlernpreis von nur 19,95 Mark und beginnen Sie Ihre atemberaubende Reise in eine der faszinierendsten Epochen der Menschheitsgeschichte. Nehmen Sie in weiteren Folgen teil an den blutigen Ritualen der Maya und werden Sie Augenzeuge der letzten Stunden von Pompeji. Rufen Sie jetzt 0180 532 3232 und bestellen Sie Ägypten zum Kennenlernpreis von nur 19,95 Mark. Als Geschenk dazu dieser Skarabäus, das Symbol für Glück im alten Ägypten.
Do you know about the recent football transfers? Which is the new club of Didier Deschamps? Marseille, Bayern Munich, or Chelsea? Eurosport gives you the chance of winning a fantastic multimedia widescreen television set. And that's not all. Eurosport t-shirts are also up for grabs. So, call now. And good luck.
So what can the great entertainer do about this? It's already been some year for the two of them. Sampras may have started late, but of course Agassi has had his crowning moment of his career. There's his former wife watching on. So no animosity there.
And of course tennis very much in the Brooke Shields family. Her grandfather, a Wimbledon finalist.
So Agassi gets his roller coaster rolling.
Yes, Sampras taking a few risks in that game, obviously feeling ultra confident.
Just wondered sometimes through in the last 2 or 3 years whether Agassi's almost given Sampras too much respect. Sampras has won 6 of the last 8 meetings. I know it seems a contradiction in terms when you've got someone like Agassi we're talking about, but I just sense that he gives Sampras almost too much.
Yes, they have very different psychologies. When Sampras goes on the court, he feels as if he plays well, he's going to beat the person no matter what. Agassi doesn't feel that, certainly doesn't feel that about Sampras. He hasn't got the total self-belief that his opponent Sampras has. And he knows that Sampras knows it.
Second ace.
Yes, the court very much really to Sampras' liking. Not only court, a combination of court balls. Balls, very important element. Agassi could have done with somewhat slower. A bit more like Roland Garros would have suited him.
So Sampras' serve looking as ominous as it was at Wimbledon. 4-1 he leads.
If there's any kind of music that brings you to life, it's one of the great disco tracks. So what happens when you put 100 of them all on one massive collection? 100 of the world's biggest ever disco numbers. The definitive collection of original mega hits on 6 CDs or cassettes. That's nearly 6 hours worth called 20th Century Disco. To get 20th Century Disco, you buy direct by picking up the phone. For your copy, call now. Inside the Universal Music Group. We know great music when we hear it.
Welcome back to the final of the Mercedes-Benz Cup at the UCLA courts in Los Angeles. Sampras 4-1 up against Andre Agassi.
There's Jack Kramer, whose birthday it is today. One of the greats, Wimbledon and United States winner. And Jack Kramer's son, Bob, is the tournament director here.
Some mighty hitting going on here. And Agassi taking the ball earlier and earlier.
Yes, and Sampras still fast enough to get to it, even though the crowd thought it had to be a clean winner.
Agassi, the reigning champion here. He's won his last 9 matches on these courts. So he's held serve twice now after being broken in his opening service game. But he's playing catch-up. So Rosetsky still leads the way this year.
I love that. FedEx fastest delivery.
Yes. Very few defensive shots being played here.
Well, it's astonishing. It's just, I think, perfectly paced all round this for Sampras. Very difficult for Agassi to make inroads. He's got to come up with phenomenal shots and just not quite making it. Because where he's got to strike is on the return if he possibly can. It's a big if. Every second serve he's got, he's really got to make hay of.
Oh, yes. Glorious lob.
But just that element of surprise here, running at full tilt. And Sampras, of course, expecting another body blow, another passing shot, just flicking the wrists. And even Sampras, with his ability to get up for those slam dunks of his, not able to make it.
Well, there was the slam dunk, and I don't think I've ever seen one hit harder. It was perfectly in the zone. Take a look at this. That wasn't coming back.
That was some leap.
So Agassi hits him with an absolutely mullered return. And even Sampras is smiling. This is macho stuff.
I'd love that to have timed that forehand return. He really clobbered it. Sort of stuff you see the LA Dodgers do.
This is like Ali and Frazier going toe-to-toe in the middle of the ring.
Well, Magnus Norman has to say about Sampras' serve. He says you've got to be lucky, guess the corner, close your eyes, and hope there's a God to win a point.
And that it was. Why not? We've had everything else. Why not a second serve ace?
Yes, so much for my thoughts that was the department of the Sampras game that had disappeared. But of course Wimbledon rectified all that.
Yeah, incredible start from Agassi. And everywhere, right around this arena here, full of smiles.
I think they ought to dip into their pockets and pay a bit extra, because whatever they've paid for their tickets, they deserve to pay a bit more for this sort of tennis.
Let's face it, these two are short of a few dollars.
Yes, Sampras, if he wins this match, will be the third this year over $1 million, and he hasn't played that much. Agassi and Gustavo Kuerten earned over $1 million already.
He's picking up the serve now. That's what you were saying earlier on. That was the key thing, and Agassi, we know he's the #1 returner in the world. He needs to be against this serve, but right now, this is his best patch.
String broken just as well. That didn't go in. Prolific breaker of strings, of course, very thin gut. Almost the sort of stuff you have in a squash racket. Very tightly strung. And at least it's the middle two strings. Would it be anything else? Huge opportunity for Agassi, of course. It's a second serve. Surely Sampras can't wrap another second serve ace.
pouring sweat as he always does. It's humid and very hot. And here's a chance for Agassi. Great point to get the break back. He's just teasing. Ace number 4.
Such a huge edge, of course, that he has over Agassi and so many other players with that big serve and break points. One shot will do it. Agassi usually has to take a couple.
Yeah, terrific return. You saw how early again and how far up the court he was when he made it. Second chance. Yes. Well, he really deserved it. Phenomenal returning from Andre. And this simply wondrous match continues to get better and better.
The greatest hits of the 80s. An amazing 8 CD collection. ...144 of the greatest hits from the biggest stars of the 80s. Just call this number now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 CDs packed full of your favourite 80s tunes. Don't miss out on this unique offer. Call now to get your own fantastic 80s collection. All the 80s stars, all the 80s hits in one fantastic collection. These are the greatest hits of the 80s, and they're available to you by calling the number on your screen now. Don't miss out. Order now.
There's nearly $2.5 million of hard cash to be won on the hard courts of Montreal at the Du Maurier Open. It's the third oldest tournament in history, and no one wants to miss it. The lineup is awesome. We could be looking at the next US Open champion. ATP Mercedes Super 9 Tennis from Monday at 1900 CET, that's 6 UK time, live on Eurosport.
With Café de Colombia.
Sampras 4, Agassi 3. Level on breaks. Final of the Mercedes Cup here in LA. And so it continues.
Really stepping in, taking this ball on the rise as well, a bit like Agassi. They're not quite as early as the two-hander.
Just when it looks like one of them's coming back into the match or starting to assert himself, the other fires away.
He's just got the most magnificent forehand when he's playing well. It's the one shot really that, well, not the one that and the serve that can make an opponent look puny. Little change of mind there, I think. Second serve, could have played it early. Paul Annacone was somebody who liked to play the ball early, used to half volley virtually.
Well, Sampras has a point for his second break here. Agassi just beginning to fall off the pedestal of high form is shown. Oh, that's unlucky. And I wonder how decisive that'll be.
Yes, that was an enormous opportunity for Sampras because he had time to adjust to the net cord. And that so often one net cord begats another. They usually go in the second.
Big stuff. It's 4-all. Sampras hadn't got to the service line, but he didn't have time to, really. It was taken so early.
Certainly the key to it, Agassi catching him before he could get to the service line or inside it.
Been on the line. Through in the 24 meetings they've had, there may have been better tennis between the two of them, but I can't remember better matches. But I don't think ever has there been such ferocity of shot making as there is here.
Oh, it's remarkable tennis. Very few unforced errors. And usually somebody wilts, but they both standing up so magnificently.
Oh. No acknowledgement from Agassi of that shot, but it was some volley from Sampras.
He's got such control of his emotions here. But how about that for control of his game? Agassi not quite ready. And the ball coming down, hitting Sampras on the head.
And every time Sampras plays one of those sublime shots, Agassi hits back with one of those biting returns. Now then, second double. And break point. The second successive break of the Sampras serve. The standards of this match, that was a must-make shot.
Yes, that was an old-fashioned tactic by Sampras, taking a lot of pace off the second serve. That was bringing his game down to mere mortal standards, and just really chipping and charging. And Agassi should not have succumbed. Had to make that shot.
No. Incredible control on the backhand.
Yes, I think this forehand was hit even harder than the one earlier on, but Sampras like a brick wall. Such lovely balance too. He makes it look so effortless. A little bit of frustration, I think, they're showing.
Well, his key word, Agassi, is execute. He had a chance to execute and go a break up there, but it's Sampras 5-4.
There's nearly $2.5 million of hard cash to be won on the hard courts of Montreal at the Du Maurier Open. It's the third oldest tournament in history, and no one wants to miss it. The lineup is awesome. We could be looking at the next US Open champion. ATP Mercedes Super 9 Tennis from Monday at 1900 CET, that's 6 UK time, live on Eurosport.
With Café de Colombia.
This week, the European footballing superpowers are going head-to-head. On Tuesday, the Italians of Fiorentina go to Kaiserslautern in Germany. On Thursday, the Huns of Werder Bremen go to Spain to Real Sociedad. And on Friday, another German side, Bayer Leverkusen, play host to AC Milan. Top football friendlies live this week on Eurosport.
A scorching hot day, but nothing as scorching as the tennis that we've seen so far. And Andre Agassi serving to stay in the set at 4-5. It's corrected by the line judge and by Norm Christ at the same time.
No, I didn't think it was a lead call.
Very nearly. That would have been one of the biggest winners of the match.
Of the year, I think. Certainly seemed to give Agassi food for thought, even though Sampras had missed it. His thinking may have been take on the forehand, which isn't as destructive on the return as a rule. We saw him strike one earlier on, however, and then get to the backhand on the second shot.
So there's a phenomenon, a love service game for Agassi. 5 each. So there's the list of champions. Sampras winning this as a 21-year-old back in '91. Agassi, champion last year. And a whole array of former champions.
Yes, the tournament in the early years used to be run by Jack Kramer, and then before that at the Los Angeles Tennis Club by Perry Jones. known as the Pacific Southwest. And it actually used to be played after the US Open. They used to have a succession of tournaments up the west coast of the States, including one up in San Francisco.
A good deep volley. And even Agassi couldn't do anything with that.
Well, his whole game really has been staggeringly good.
It's not hit off the sweet spot. How often that can provide problems for even the greatest.
Yes, and I think that's why Agassi had that wry smile. Is that what I have to do? Is virtually what he's saying to himself.
Well, he's that good a player, perhaps he can miss time shots for the rest of his set.
Yes. His player's sort of disharmony. Sure enough.
He's volleyed so well that Paul Annacone looks inquisitively at him. Well left and well played. So Sampras edges to 6-5 first set.
A smooth criminal, a tough investigator, an affair to remember.
Think you'll get me?
Oh, I hope so.
Now Eurosport invites you to take part in a competition for an unforgettable vacation. To enter the competition, answer the following question. What object does Thomas Crown steal? A car, a boat, or a pencil? If you know the answer, call a Eurosport hotline now and you could win a week on the French Caribbean island of Martinique.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yes.
Call the special Eurosport hotline now for your chance to follow in the footsteps of Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo.
How can I possibly trust you?
I'm going to trust you.
The Thomas Crown Affair.
There's nearly $2.5 million of hard cash to be won on the hard courts of Montreal at the Du Maurier Open. It's the third oldest tournament in history and no one wants to miss it. The lineup is awesome. We could be looking at the next US Open champion. ATP Mercedes Super 9 Tennis from Monday at 1900 CET, that's 6 UK time, live on Eurosport.
With Cafe de Colombia.
That's the situation. Andre Agassi serving for the second time to stay in this set. Take us into a breaker if he does so. Well, the tactic work then, hammering away at that Sampras backhand and opening up the court.
Yes, and playing with increasing angle and eventually getting enough open court, although Sampras came close to making that. Agassi using that kick serve quite well to the left court. And doing it again there, getting that one to bound up quite high. He throws it a bit behind him in order to get the kick. Throws it down naturally.
Second ace.
Of course, he used it so well in the French Open.
Phenomenal first service percentage for Andre. And he really has served well, hasn't he? Since dropping his serve in his opening service game. So into the breaker we go. It's the three-set final.
Yes, this is the 66th set that they've played, and Agassi leads in tiebreakers 4-2. Not that many. 6 in 66. Or 7 now in 66.
So his quickest serve so far. Ace number 5.
Let's see if he persists with that kick serve. No. Don't change a winning game.
But the second did the trick for him.
Coming into this tiebreaker, Sampras had lost 19 points on his serve, Agassi just 9. So Agassi well ahead on points.
Fine return.
2-1.
And the first mini break.
Really mad at himself. Knows that he has to keep ahead of Sampras if he possibly can. Because you give him leeway, then Sampras can afford really to take the extra bit of risks, which means extra power. Agassi has to capitalize here.
And didn't Sampras know it? Wonderful serve.
Yes, really as fast as most people's first serve. That's of course the neck of the woods where he learnt that incredible skill. So difficult to pick where he's going to serve. Well, again, the kick does the job, and Sampras looked out of town on it. Not as easy to do to the right court, though, of course.
Please sell out here at UCLA. Nick Jarvis leading off the team for Fox Sportsnet. was he there, but I suppose a lot of it was in the anticipation, but it was phenomenal that he got across to that.
Yes, I think he had a jump start. It would have been a false start in athletics. But had he not anticipated the Sampras cross-court forehand, there's absolutely no way that he could have got to it, because there was good angle on it. But he was on his way as Sampras played it.
But he can motor. Not many people have high regard for his athletic qualities, but this year he's so fit. And it's one of the main reasons why he was able to win the French at last.
You can see the disappointment written across his face. He was so keyed up and so inspired by that forehand down the line.
Well, his backhand volleying, one or two errors high up, but anything low or waist high have been superbly dealt with. And here are 3 set points to beat Sampras. Oh, it's way, just wide. And Sampras has taken the most phenomenal set on the tiebreak. One of the best of the 60-odd sets they played between the two of them.
Yes.
Agassi may be wondering there what on earth he's got to do to win a set.
Well, that's exactly it, because he played terrific tennis. As I was pointing out, he was winning his service games really comparatively easy. 3 love service games in that first set, and yet he comes off second best. So that's 4 straight sets, including those 3 at Wimbledon that Sampras has now won against him. And it's back to the wall stuff for Agassi. You know Sampras is just going to tee off.
Another example of what we were saying earlier on, that Agassi knows that against anybody else, his best is good enough. And here he played, well, can he play any better than that? It's doubtful, and he's lost the set.
Yeah. I don't think he can, frankly. One could say that he had the occasional opportunity on the second serve, but of course it reaches a point where there's such enormous pressure on Agassi to make the shot because of Sampras's very high standard, that when you do get the 1 or 2, the pressure is just such that you buckle rather than produce.
Was he dwelling a little bit on the misfortune? Missing that volley there. Good punch back though. It's number 3. Wow. Agassi showing champion-like qualities there. 1 love, second set.
The greatest European club competition of them all, the Champions League, is underway. These are the preliminaries. They're playing to stay alive, and Eurosport is there, live, with commentators who know their European football. Eurosport, the channel for your football. The Champions League, Wednesday at 2100 CET, that's 8 UK, live on Eurosport. Sport Text. Just press text on your remote control and you're there. All the latest sports news and results from all over the world. exclusive articles and programme information. All the headlines, all the personalities, in English, German or Italian. Sport text. Just press text and you're there.
Love one, second set. Pete Sampras, the number 2 seed against the number 1 seed, Andre. Sampras, by dint of his place in the final here, guaranteed to be number 1 in the world when the rankings come out on Monday. And of course, by doing so, Sampras will be number 1 for 271 weeks overall, which eclipses Ivan Lendl's record of 270.
It really takes some doing. Lendl's such a workhorse, one doesn't really, or at least I don't really think of Sampras in that category. And it just shows his overall brilliance week in and week out, year in and year out.
Confirmation from Norm Christ. Interesting the stats, Agassi making the plays so much in that first set. The majority of the winners and the errors. And yet you wouldn't say that Sampras is played second fiddle. He's been aggressive too.
See the high standards Agassi is setting himself here. He expects to explode into those shots and to make them. But he's not. And that's just due to the pressure. If Sampras were an ordinary being over there and Agassi was telling himself to make them, chances are he would.
Ace number 6.
Terrific campus here at UCLA. It's where Sampras' sister Stella is the head coach of the women's team.
Good forcing play from Agassi. There's that backhand again that we saw so much of early on in the first set. Less towards the end of it. Double bluff. Ace number 5. Another terrific service game from Andre.
Well, it's terrific, of course, to see Agassi back up at the very top of the game, and also good to see Sampras looking hungry again. Total revitalization as a result of that Wimbledon win. And of course it augurs well for the tournaments leading up and including the US Open.
Yeah, well played, Agassi. Again, he's holding his serve relatively comfortably. Yes, it's interesting you talk about the lead up now to the US Open. Of course, one more Grand Slam title, and Sampras gets to beat Roy Emerson on to 13. The greatest number of Grand Slam titles ever achieved, and that's really the one goal left for him. After that, I don't know how he's going to motivate himself.
No, and yet if you compare Sampras and Emerson, it's purely in terms of the singles majors that they have won, one has to really put Sampras above Emerson, because so many of Emerson's were down in Australia when really not that many foreigners played. It was almost the Australian Championships, whereas Sampras has done it in an ultra-competitive world. But what he's missing, of course, from Sampras's tally is a French Open, something that Emerson was able to achieve.
And Agassi will remind him of that whenever he can.
Exactly, yes.
Especially behind the players. Please take any seats.
Trouble is, there aren't many seats.
Sit on her lap.
This is the one he's aiming for.
Much more mature Sampras these days, reacting with a bit of a smile.
It's interesting you say these days, because I thought earlier on in the year he looked a rather forlorn figure. And I was wondering about the revitalization process you were talking about, but it's definitely happened.
Yeah, very much so. Wimbledon and here he's a different character.
So after today there'll be 100 titles between them. Is it a dangerous tactic? Not that it's a conscious tactic to sort of fade out of the picture and then expect to click into gear. Sampras can do it. Agassi, it took Agassi a long while.
Yes, Sampras obviously can. I didn't think he was going to do it, but I'm pleasantly surprised to have to eat my words. So good to have him back in this form. And the string broken. Is it the ball? No, it's Sampras' strings. They're trying to point out that there's something wrong with the ball, but...
He broke his strings, but I thought the ball caught the line.
I thought it caught the line as well. Certainly didn't look long.
No, don't see any doubt about that. Agassi played it. He was ready to take another shot.
Unlucky. He does move so well, Agassi, these days. The fittest I've seen him. Prize money, as of this year, as you mentioned, Sampras will go into the $1 million category, not that he's counting. And Agassi just one behind Gustavo. Well, there might have been a couple there that were... Keep just checking that the guy's awake. The first one did look long.
Yes, the crowd obviously saw it out.
Now they're level on aces, 6 each.
Last year, Agassi averaged just 4.5 aces a match. He has these periods where his percentage of serving, of course, he's kicking the ball and gets that very, very high percentage. He's not likely to be up in the 80s if he continues to serve like that.
Yeah, terrific serving performance again from Agassi. Love service game once more. And he's 3-2 in front, but a set down to Sampras.
This week, the European footballing superpowers are going head-to-head. On Tuesday, the Italians of Fiorentina go to Kaiserslautern in Germany. On Thursday, the Huns of Werder Bremen go to Spain to Real Sociedad. And on Friday, another German side, Bayer Leverkusen, play host to AC Milan. Top football friendlies live this week on Eurosport.
Do you know about the recent football transfers? Which is the new club of Didier Deschamps? Marseille, Bayern Munich, or Chelsea? Eurosport gives you the chance of winning a fantastic multimedia widescreen television set. And that's not all. Eurosport t-shirts are also up for grabs. So, call now. And good luck.
Best of 3-set final, and I wonder if it was a best of 5-set final, whether we could have possibly had the pace that we've had today. Pace of shot, momentum that both players have brought to this match.
Yes, it did strike me earlier on that they were going at it hell for leather because it was a best of 3. It may not have been quite as frenetic had it been best of 5. It's not massive money. Kitzbühel was a bigger event, a championship series event, but I'm sure there are some guarantees here for the players.
Is guarantees legal now for these kind of tournaments?
Yes, guarantees. They have been for some time. Not legal for the Super 9, but certainly are for these.
But not as a viewer, as Timo Vilas will tell you.
No. As Vilas, who was suspended back in the 70s for taking a guarantee at a time they were trying to outlaw it. Many others were taking it, but got away with it.
So Sampras gets a love service game of his own. No breaks so far. 1 break each in the first set. A set that went to Sampras.
Yes, that's Sampras' first love game of the match. Agassi now has 4. And it's winning the important points that he does so remarkably well, Sampras.
He can't start firing aces. 8th ace for Agassi. I think it's 6th of his set. Must have been only just out Nornquist. Saw it right below him.
Yes, Agassi a little agitated at the call.
Yeah, well played. Agassi terms, he took that late, didn't he? Drawing Sampras back to the centre.
Yes, how well he lined it up, though. Really showed Sampras his right shoulder. And playing it back along the same line, of course. Not hitting against the flight at all.
Agassi's service percentage is just getting better and better. No way home for Sampras at the moment, 4-3.
There's nearly $2.5 million of hard cash to be won on the hard courts of Montreal at the Du Maurier Open. It's the third oldest tournament in history and no one wants to miss it. The lineup is awesome. We could be looking at the next US Open champion. ATP Mercedes Super 9 Tennis from Monday at 1900 CET, that's 6 UK time, live on Eurosport.
With Café de Colombia. Do you know about the recent football transfers? Which is the new club of Didier Deschamps, Marseille, Bayern Munich, or Chelsea? Eurosport gives you the chance of winning a fantastic multimedia widescreen television set. And that's not all. Eurosport t-shirts are also up for grabs. So, call now. And good luck.
Not much breeze. And not much hope for Pete Sampras on Agassi's serve at the moment, but Crew was saying he's sticking in there, and he won the first breaker. It may well come down to a second. Oh, he fashioned that shot as if he expected to make it. Wonderful lob there.
Yes, this is the Las Vegas in Agassi, because he could have run around and put up the high lob here, but figured that he had to play to the gallery just a little bit. Certainly a non-percentage shot. Little ominous for Agassi, making much more impression in the first set on the Sampras serve. Pretty little here, though.
He's on the 7th. Well, a whirlwind reply. And Sampras hardly balking at the fact that he was serving to stay in the match. 5 games each. These are the events coming up on Fox Sports. Don't forget, all through next week, tennis from Canada, from Montreal, the Super 9 tournament. Crew and I in position for that.
Yes, Agassi there plays the winner of Richie Renneberg and Todd Woodbridge, who both won through the qualifying rounds. Sampras not playing in Montreal.
Yes, he won't get away with that next year. There he goes. A little bit of showmanship from Pete Sampras. This is what you call a running forehand.
Gosh, that's such a difficult shot to play. It was so low when he eventually struck the ball, and to be able to hit it with as hard a swing and control it, of course, he put a lot of top on it.
Ace number 9. And Agassi again forces Sampras to serve to stay in this match.
Now, you're not supposed to leave the court during play. Agassi should have made an instant appeal to umpire Chris here. Sampras putting on an Ilie act. Really is a relaxed character. Who wouldn't be if you'd won Wimbledon that many times? Well, they call this Los Angeles the city of the angels, and it certainly is blessed with a terrific duo on court, a terrific match. The standard in the second set, not quite as high, I don't think, as the first, but can any set be as good as that first?
Be a couple of months that Agassi won't have enjoyed after the French Open if he should lose here. Sampras coming back, having stolen. I think Agassi stealing Sampras' thunder in no uncertain fashion by winning the French and getting that Grand Slam. 4 titles on 3 different surfaces, something that Sampras hasn't achieved. But then Sampras coming back and winning 6th Wimbledon, and if he would win convincingly, well, not convincingly, but if he were to put Agassi in his place again, that would really level things up again.
Yes, I quite agree. It's almost a nipping of the Agassi flowering, isn't it? A nipping in the bud.
Yes, it does take nothing away from Pete's 6 successive #1 end-of-year rankings and his 12 Grand Slam titles. Agassi knows that French, those 4 different Grand Slam titles, something that Sampras would dearly love. And insidiously at press conferences, he will continue to eat away at that. Getting a lot of luck with the net.
Now again, that extra little bit of pressure there. Perhaps some supporting words of encouragement from Brooke Shields. First time in the set, I believe, that Sampras had lost the first point and he served. That was a real chance.
Oh yes, terrific retrieving from Sampras, but this time it's Agassi on a run.
Well, of course, he broke Sampras the once in the first set, but he's obviously decided here that he's going to come in against Sampras rather than try and beat him from the back of the court, try and volley a bit more. It's not something that Agassi necessarily likes to do. He prefers to win from the baseline.
Even for such a talented player, he's asking an awful lot of himself there.
Yes, who knows? I mean, he almost looked as if he'd been bitten by a bee, didn't he? But he was trying to hit the ball so hard, move at the same time. Surely it'd been better just to try and stroke the ball wide, give Sampras a no-pacer perhaps, but that's not Agassi's style.
Once more the door closed with a thud. Sampras with his weight on his left foot.
Yes, just making that extra bit of pace, giving himself the option, still bringing off a fine shot, and not only that, bringing up the first deuce game of the set.
Now then, set point Andre Agassi. And once again, that key word is execute. Can he do it here? And he guessed right. It was a mighty hit serve.
He's almost still, I think, trying to hit that ball too hard. The point is, if you hit it really hard and you hit it to Sampras, he can use your pace, so it makes the next shot that much more difficult for you.
Not quite. And this time Sampras' turn to heave a sigh of relief.
Yes, I love the way Sampras just let that one drop and sort of walked alongside the ball as if to say, well, I had it covered. There was no way really you could make the shot. Don't get excited, crowd, because I'm in control.
Ace number 8, and for the second successive time we're in for a breaker.
So it's now 4-3 to Agassi in tiebreakers. This is the 67th set now played between them.
First serve.
Well, you'd hardly credit it, would you? The guy who served so well through this match serves his first double fault at a time like this.
Yeah, that's really shooting yourself in the big toe.
And to rub in the contrast. It's number 9 for Sampras.
Well, Agassi looked actually a little forlorn as he went across. I know he didn't have much time, but there wasn't quite the vitality in that return.
Well, he got away with it. There was another moment of indecision there from Agassi. Rare indeed. In the end, the volley was very good.
Yes, he almost stumbled here, but really brought off a terrific backhand volley because it looked like a good shot, but Agassi had closed on the net. Had he not moved diagonally, he would have been in trouble.
his chances. He's missed the set point, although Sampras did serve very well to save it. And Sampras now looking very good indeed. It's the old story for isn't it? He had those break chances in the first set after he'd broken. And set point here. But it looks now as if he's going to come second best again.
Yes, he's lost a bit of heart, and as he loses heart, so Sampras just gains in stature. Serving like the god that Magnus Larsson said he is on the serve.
And a godlike volley to follow. 5 match points, 5 points for his second title here. Champion in 91. Yes. Agassi can't believe it. A point fitting to finish this match. It's been a terrific clash. The disappointment etched on Agassi's face. He played mighty well, but once again, it wasn't good enough against the best player in the world, and quite rightly, once more, #1 in the world. Sampras with title number 59.
Well, no sweeter sound for Sampras than that. When he's beaten Agassi, it must sound sweet at the best of times, but that was a rip-roaring match. I think the first set and this final point here was Sampras at his very, very best. Agassi, I think, will be disappointed that he didn't bring off the few opportunities that he had, really, I think, to nullify Sampras's great power and great speed, but a top-class match.
And Agassi, who was on top of the world just 2 months ago, now knows that there is one player who's feeling a lot better than he is. Simply sublime performance from Pete Sampras, his third title of the year. Winner of Queens, winner of Wimbledon, and now the winner here.